Shout out to Francesca. She's been grinding away ever since she left the Young Turks. Obviously, she's still contributing with Zateo, even though they're not doing the first 100 days because the first 100 days are over. So no more America Unhinged for now. But yeah, super excited to hear from Francesca. You know, we broke John Iadarola's balls a lot for how he handled the past couple of situations, but I was happy to see this.
You ever feel like national politics are getting you down? Even local politics here in Los Angeles make you feel like you're on some sort of weird children's carousel. Well, come out to the Elysian Theater on May 30th. That's next Friday, because me and John Iadarola are going to be there. John, does this feel more or less sane than covering the Trump administration?
Don't distract me. I'm getting busy on my phone.
Hold on.
Good, actually.
It feels pretty good.
It feels pretty good.
John and I, oh my God, it's so small. John and I are going to be at the Elysian Theater along with Eunices Hernandez, council member, as well as Rachel Reyes of the LA podcast, Matt Lieb, and someone from the Red Brigade who is blowing the whistle on all of these price gouges in Los Angeles. Come out, get your tickets. Bye.
See you there.
So I was kind of surprised to see that. You know, it seems like Francesca and John still have a good working relationship, and I was excited to see that they're going to continue to collaborate so that, you know, Francesca is not left totally, you know, hung out to dry. Not that she doesn't have other opportunities, but good to see that they're still able to, you know, work together.
Oh yeah, it's good to see that solidarity from within the TYT family, what still remains of it. Because yeah, John still does work at TYT. Obviously the damage report is ongoing as a TYT production. But yeah, it's nice to see him be like, all right, well, if I can't have Francesca on my actual show, well, that's not going to stop me from going on her show, including even in live versions. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. Obviously, if we lived in the area, we'd love to check that out. I'm sure it'll be an awesome, fun live episode. But yeah, also great little promo that they filmed. I really liked that on the carousel. It made me nostalgic for, remember like at the grocery store, there'd be like that horse in front. You put the quarter in and then you'd like ride the horse. I used to love doing that shit as a kid in front of Hen House, which was my mom's favorite.
I know exactly which hen house Gavin's referring to.
Yep. I hope that horse is still there. I would be pissed if we ever go there and it's gone. But either way, we got to go get on the carousel now.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting too. We talked about it the other day. The damage report still, you know, and John Iadarola is still pretty reluctant to call out Cenk in the main channel directly, but he did have a spat with Marjorie Taylor Greene. JR went on the show a few days ago. We reacted yesterday, and he had some choice words to say about the way that the main channel was presenting itself, the way it was positioning itself politically. And it looks like the lack of views, the lack of polymarket funding, the lack of anything coming outside of the damage report has led to John Iadarola now being forced to do ad promotions on his YouTube page. I guarantee you, by Cenk Uygur. And what's more interesting than this is the comment section's response, guys. So first off, I would never break TYT's balls for selling merchandise, right? We sell merchandise, and I'm not even going to really break their balls for doing an ad read. A lot of people do ad reads. Shopify is an e-commerce platform, right? People use it to do transactions for their online merch stores. It's really common. I think it actually is one of the things that powers our merch store, right? But they've never sent us some shit to be like, you know, you'll get a better deal if you plug us on your, YouTube post page. John says, behind the scenes, Shopify makes it simple for us to refresh Shop TYT regularly, so there's always something new to check out. Shopify makes it easy for us to keep things interesting. And then you've got this random ass Dragon Squad hoodie.
Which, by the way, still, I'm no offense to anyone in the Dragon Squad, but I cannot look at that without thinking of those bad dragon dildos. You know, they have the like dragon dildos that people like.
I've never heard of that.
I remember Callie.
Yeah.
That was where I first found out about bad
Interesting.
Dragon. But whenever I see Dragon Squad, it just reminds me of that shit. I'm just like, it just reminds me of something that people in that group I'd like call themselves or something.
Yeah, no, it does kind of give that vibe. I know what you're talking about. Anyway, if you read the comments down here, the number one, it just says, and we can sort by top comments first. Yeah. Leave TYT for God's sake, man. Cenk and Anna won't get another red cent from me. Tell you what, I'll save my money, and if you ever decide to do your own thing, I'll support you as long as you stay based. John, I'll buy your merch again when you leave TYT. Ooh. Surely your contract is up soon. I've been following TYT since 2014. Your show is the only one I continue to watch. You are one of the good ones, man. You can make it on your own for sure. See a recurring theme, John? That's in reference to all of the comments he's getting. Join Franny on her new network, or bring JR and Dr. Richie with you and spill the tea on TYT to Silly and Billy.
Oh shit! Shout out to who's that? Chad Mao Media.
Yeah, or Chad Moi Media.
Moi Media. Shout out to you, bro. Hell yeah, that's a Vanguardian IRL.
Leave TYT. Surprise, TYT isn't selling Submit merch yet. TYT has lost the plot. John hasn't. Dude, what are you even doing? Take your stuff and go. This person says Shopify is Maple MAGA. I don't know what that's in reference to. You need to get out of TYT. I feel you still good. Run, John. Run far away. Take JR with you. Wearing a resist tee while TYT fully commits to right-wing grifting is nuts, my guy. Did you hear Cenk and Jordan Uhl? Love your show, but definitely won't buy any merch. Resist tee is a choice. Leave. How do you use your reward? See, brain damage report. It's crazy. People are pissed off, man.
Also, can we actually visit the TYT shop real quick? Because I want to see if they're still selling progressive merch.
Well, what's interesting about this is that it actually links to Shopify, not to TYT's merch shop.
Wait, for real? I thought that link said shop TYT / whatever the fuck.
Because if you go onto Shopify and you order something or you sign up, TYT is getting a cut. It's actually an affiliate link. It's not to their own merch store. It's just a bait and switch to make it look like they're promoting their own stuff, but really they're saying, look at how easy it is for us to use it. Maybe you should use Shopify too. Maybe we should. Easy.
Maybe we should switch over from Printful to Shopify.
But let me look up the TYT merch store really quick.
Yeah, because for the longest time, or continually, as far as I know, they still sell a bunch of shit that has like the actual progressive brand all over it. LOL, these photos of them are so funny. But yeah, look at the, like, I know they have like a progressive collection, and maybe they've taken them off. But yeah, for the longest time, progressives versus everybody. Fuck you, bro. And meanwhile, they talk shit on progressives on like a fucking nightly basis, bitching and moaning about left-wingers and progressives.
LOL.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
You do not get to dictate the way I live my life based on your religion. Hilarious, guys. Hilarious. Turf Anna.
That was like based on that one viral clip of her from like 2019 or something where she was like going off about religion. But just imagine wearing that. Look at her face where it's all like negative on the one half. Imagine just seeing someone IRL wearing that t-shirt. And you're like, what the fuck?
Like, that person's too online. Best-selling collections. Justice is Coming. The Damage Report. Here, let's look at
John looks kind of fresh in that jacket back there.
Let me see. Honestly, yeah, that's a good jacket. It's all patched up. Oh, he put out a onesie. That's cute.
Nice. We got to put out some Vanguard onesies.
Yeah, do we have any Vanguard parents with young children? We got to get some skin in the game. We can't let John corner the market.
Also, I still don't even know why they called the Dragon Squad. Like, what the fuck does the Damage Report have to do with dragons?
I have no idea. I have no idea, brother. Not one single clue.
Other than the, aforementioned theory that I had. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh, I don't think that's what it is. Unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know how much time the Young Turks can hold on for. I don't know how much time they have left. I genuinely don't know what they're going to do, because even with those Shopify plugs, they're not keeping the lights on there at the.
How much money do you think they got paid for that?
I mean, I don't know, guys. We are always 100% transparent with you guys. The most we've ever been offered is like, I think $1,000 to do like a series of like integrations of ads or something, like maybe. And we were like, we didn't even respond to the emails. They sent us like 4 emails because they were really trying to get us to do this for some VPN recently. And we were like, obviously we're not going to fucking do that. So that would be our ballpark. We get more views on a video than a lot of the TYT main channel stuff, but Damage Report gets more views probably on the whole definitely than us. So maybe double, triple that. Even still, not enough to make it worth the time. Plus you pay taxes on it. Plus it just goes in as a stream of revenue to the corporation TYT, not as like net liquid cash that they can immediately use. It's just a bunch of bad business decisions. And again, you have John who's doing perfectly good job. If John was just running the damage report as a John Iadarola, and maybe he had like one other person that he ran it with, and him and Fran did it all the time, or him and whoever is behind the scenes with him now did it on their own, they would be in perfect positioning because people would sign up for memberships, people would donate, people would watch every day because they would know they were supporting an independent John Iadarola. Even with the hindrance of being affiliated with TYT, he's still the best thing they've got. And again, guys, I want you guys to know we haven't been selectively picking the worst times to show you TYT's numbers. We haven't been trying to make it look worse than it actually is. Let's take a look at the most recent batch of TYT videos. This is 2K in an hour isn't, I guess, the worst. So let's scroll down to some like 16-hour videos. 11K, gross, not good at all. 28K, 30K, not good at all. Not enough to sustain a network. These are the kind of things that you're proud of if you're doing a show with Gavin and I's resources. But 6K on a main channel over 24 hours later for your entire show. I mean, that's one of the most sought after things that you can offer to people, is giving them the entire unedited clip or the entire unedited episode. And now they're giving it away and nobody's even choosing to watch it.
Embarrassing. And it also is like Cenk's bad decisions from a business perspective. They are genuinely affecting John now too, and the Damage Report channel. And I've talked about this before as far as the main TYT show. But you know how I've mentioned, Zach, the more that they fire people like Francesca, the more they get rid of the actual talented hosts and commentators that have their own opinions and ideologies. The more they get rid of those people, the more they have to rely on these other commentators who really don't seem to have an opinion at all. They kind of just like read the teleprompter and agree with whatever Cenk says.
They're presenters, not pundits.
Yep. And I don't want to be mean to these people because for the most part, they seem like they're just doing their job. There's a couple different ladies who kind of fill this role on the network. And again, they seem really nice. They do seem progressive. They don't seem like they're right wingers or whatever. But it's very clear that they've been told, like, no one cares about your opinion. You're here to back me up. And that's the role they play. They're either reading a teleprompter to introduce a story, or they're just kind of offering some like mealy-mouthed, milquetoast comments to agree with whatever spiel Cenk just got done with, right? And now, because of the fact that Francesca and other people have been let go, now those people are starting to pop up on the Damage Report too. So instead of having like Francesca co-host as he used to, now it's one of these other people. And again, I don't even want to be mean to them. I don't even know a lot of their, like some of their names. But they're just not
welcome to the Damage
listen to. They're not fucking compelling at all. They have no, passion. They don't really have an opinion, like I said, or an ideology that's like, oh, I got to hear what this person's take is. Got to hear what she thinks about this. No, they're very clearly just support. And again, it makes the whole show worse. It makes it a lot less entertaining the more they have to rely on those backup people.
Right, because why do people watch independent media in the first place? Why don't they just get their news from cable? Because they want to be invested in the personality that's delivering them the news. They want to actually get to know them. They don't care about having a perfect, pristine bobblehead sit there and talk to them in a voice like this and give perfect delivery and never actually waver from the script. That's not compelling to people anymore because people decided that they valued authenticity more. They said, you know what? I don't care if it's a little rough around the edges. I want you. I want you to come out there and be yourself. That's why Asmongold is able to succeed, because even though he is dumber than dirt, he has absolute shit for brains. He's disgusting. He doesn't even wash himself. He's at least authentic, right? And you can do something with authenticity, right? Bob Dylan has that quote, you can be beautiful or you can be ugly, but you can't be plain. That is the same thing now. Right? They're putting too much plainness in something that thrives on being beautiful or ugly. It has to be striking. It has to be attention grabbing because you're competing on YouTube, right? TYT is not on in airport lounges. TYT is not on when you go to the hospital. TYT is not on when you're waiting to get your car fixed at the mechanic shop, right? It's going to be CNN. It's going to be CBS. It's going to be MSNBC, Fox, whatever, but it's not going to be you. When people are forced to watch those things, they'll deal with it, but they're never going to seek it out. Cenk has decided to take TYT from a network that people would seek out their thoughts on it to being like a take it or leave it. If it comes across my feed and I guess I don't have anything else to watch, I'll click on it because I'm curious about this news story. But there's no, I'm a fan of TYT really left. I mean, unless you're just delusional and old and have a parasocial relationship with Cenk or Anna.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. And again, it's one thing for Cenk to fuck up his own thing, But I really do feel bad for John Iadarola because he has his own channel. He has the whole Dragon Squad. That's his. Like, TYT doesn't have a fucking Dragon Squad. They don't even have a TYT army. They don't have shit. They don't have any loyal following whatsoever at this point. But John does. To his credit, he's been able to, keep that intact. And now Cenk's coming for his shit too. He's coming for his secret sauce, his formula, and he's telling him who he can and can't have on his show. And instead, again, now he's having to rely on these more boring sort of just teleprompter reader types to get the job done. And yeah, it's going to lead to less people watching. It simply is. So I'd be super pissed. I'd be like, bro, like, leave me the fuck alone. I know you don't like Francesca, but I got to make my show work still.
Yeah, it's crazy that he won't just stand up for himself. I thought for sure he would just be like, Cenk, fuck you. I earned 1 million subscribers. I make you a ton of money. Who it comes on my show is my business, right? That's my friend. That's somebody I like. Sorry you have beef. You don't ever have to work with her, but I have earned the right to decide who comes on the fucking damage report. I'll never tell you how to run the main show. Happy to still come on and contribute. Happy to work my ass off for you like I always have. But this is where I draw the line. This is my fucking show. I earned the right to decide who comes on. Sometimes you have to draw a line in the fucking sand and be like, I have editorial control over this. It's like a director, right? The producer comes in and tells you, hey, you have to do this. And it's like, fuck you, I don't have to do this. I'm not going to do that. And you better fucking turn around and change your opinion, okay? Yep. Because you don't own me, because I have to have a line in the sand to be able to execute in a way that you can profit off of, right? Because take a look around. And this is what I would have said if I'm John. Be like, dude, take a look around. You fucking need me. If I walk out that door, your ship is capsized, bro. You are fucked. Okay, everybody will hate you. I will start my own fucking show. I'll call it the Rampage Report, whatever the fuck I want to. I will get a bunch of people who are now newly pissed off at you, and I will make sure that you never have an audience on the progressive left ever again. That's what he should have come in. He should come in swinging, but he seems to still just kind of like, skirt around it. You know what I mean? He still seems to just kind of roll over, and I'm like, John.
He does genuinely seem to be friends with Cenk and Anna. I think that's what it is. Like, I think the reason why he can't do that is because he's being honest when he says, I'm friends with everyone involved here. And, to his credit, it does complicate the issue. Like, it is a lot harder to tell, your close friend and collaborator to just go fuck themselves, even when they are messing with you. So I get it, but I wish he would have that energy too. And you're right. He could be that last Jenga piece. You said there's like not that many Jenga pieces left in the tower. If John left, if John called out Cenk, then there's nothing left. Then it's over. So he could have used that leverage to protect Francesca.
100%. And look at this, guys. Look at this. We just showed you the main channel, right? 6 million subscribers. 1/6, the percentage, much lower subscriber count. But the views are a lot higher, if not comparable, right? 5 hours ago, 62,000 views, 34,000 views. 35,000 views, a lot of members only content, 179K. That's the kind of view count that you don't see on the main channel ever anymore. That was 20 hours ago. All right, 50K. A couple of duds over here, 44K, more members only shit. Okay, so again, even John not having the best of luck over here for 1 million sub channel,
like
guys.
I said, partially because of the fact that Cenk has taken all of his best players out of the fucking bench. And he's like, you can't have all the people that your audience expects to see anymore.
But still, he's having far more success, absolutely burying the main channel. And it's because people still like John. They still like him. They know, hey, man, you're a good guy. And that's why you're kind of pussyfooting this situation. That's why you're not just, putting your balls on the table and saying, you know what, fuck you. I've earned this, right? Because John's been there for a long time. He built that entire damage report channel, bro. I would be losing my fucking mind. Like, I was relieved a little bit. It felt good to watch Jordan Ewell just fire back at Cenk. Like, when Cenk crossed the line and was like, you don't even care about the children in Palestine. And you saw the look change in Jordan's eyes. Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? And then he just turns around and just starts screaming at him and firing back at him. I was like, finally, somebody turns the fire around on Cenk a little bit. The last person that had the balls to do that was Francesca, and she got fucking, like, terminated, basically.
Yep, 100%.
So,
and I imagine that Cenk is low-key pissed at John Iadarola for agreeing to pop up and collab with Francesca at her live show. I imagine that does piss off Cenk. He's probably like, what the fuck? Why are you fraternizing with the enemy? This person was disloyal to the TYT family. That's because that's how narcissists look at things, you know? Even if it's a genuinely constructive criticism coming from a place of, passionate disagreement. Nope. All it is disloyalty. And how dare you, how dare you insult me publicly, right? That's how Cenk looks at this. But, shout out to John. Like I said, I do feel bad for him, despite the fact that we sometimes give him shit. He is in an undeniably tough position. Lots of people have mentioned that he might be stuck in a contract. It's easier said than done to get out of one of those. So, I feel for the guy.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there. The Vanguard will be there.